Hello and welcome back to the Pokemon Fusion Generator. Today we are here with, honestly, a very powerful Pokemon to start off our Fusion Generator, as I was looking for things that fused well with Haxorus. And in the midst of it, I saw Chloritza and was like, that's kind of funny, but it wasn't quite what I was looking for. It wasn't quite the power I needed behind it. So I clicked random a couple of times, Moltres pops up. I'm like, okay, Moltres is pretty powerful. How good can this look? But this turned out absolutely beautiful. I think it's just the shading on the fire, the nice, golden flame that makes this look so good. But honestly, can we replace Moltres with Moltres? Even the Cry is powerful. Everything about this is just very powerful, and I absolutely love how this turned out. This is what the Chicken Bird should have been. Fire Dragon type, it just looks good. I think it is the flame. That flame color, it looks really nice to me. It's a nice sort of autumn feel to this Pokemon, and it is fantastic. If we swap it around, however, I imagine it's not going to look quite the same. Yeah, okay, that's not quite the same. I still kind of like it in its own little derpy way, okay? It's like got an attempt at trying to be a fire type. It's got like this piddly little flame coming out the back of its wings. It didn't quite work. It didn't quite work out. It's got these piddly little legs with like these pathetic claws that probably try and scoop up a fish from the water, and it just falls in the water and drowns. This Pokemon does not have a good time. Haxorus, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about your poor existence. Oh my god. This sounds like such an insult. Alright, but to start things off with the requests, I do have a fantastic sounding request with Chandelure and Silcoon. And as we've seen with Chandelure before, things can get a little bit crazy. So I'm not sure if every single one of these Silcoon prongs is classified as a leg as such, or if it's a decoration. But if it's a decoration, Chandelure's head is kind of a decoration. I can just imagine a lot of flames popping out of Silcoon's body for some reason, and I think this is going to look fantastic. So I have high hopes. Hold on. That's not the way around I was imagining first. But honestly, what happened? What actually happened? It looks like someone just kind of spilt a paint tin on their chandelier. Someone spilt a paint tin on it. What happened to its face? It's just Silcoon's eye. That's what it is. It's Silcoon's eye, just peering out from a chandelier's body. It makes it look spookier. I'll give it that. It definitely looks spookier. It's kind of like wrapped around the flame a little bit more of the coloring as well. It makes it look a lot more like an actual candle with that color. So I mean, it's just because it looks like wax, I guess, if you want the simplified thing. Sildelure, actually, you know what? The more I look at it, the more it grows on me. Definitely spooky. However, what I really want to see is the other way around. Because I think this, big candles. Not what I was expecting. It does look like a spiky ball. Just a casual spiky ball, or a little bit like a sea mine. It looks a little bit like that. With these big hands. I don't quite understand where the hands are coming from. Unless... No, none of Silcoon's, prongs are classified as arms. So where do these arms come from, and why do they spiral like this? I mean, I guess it's just the normal spiral shape. I just don't know where the arms come from. I feel like it would look so much more entertaining if it was just an actual blob with some prongs and a flame coming out of the top. I feel like that'd be so much funnier. But honestly, not bad. Not bad. Chancoon, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Onto something that's going to scar me a little bit. Chingling Mr. Mime. We've seen a good few Mr. Mime fusions now. I feel like I should be building up an immunity. In the stories, people always take really low dosages of poison bit by bit to slowly build up an immunity to that specific type of poison so they can't be assassinated. That's what's happening with me and Mr. Mime. The more I look at these, the less I'm going to be poisoned through its sight over time. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just going to hit me all at once with Dr. Eggman. That's what this is. This is Dr. Eggman in my eyes. He's beautiful. If the anime One Punch Man has taught me anything, it's taught me that having no hair makes you incredibly powerful. Okay, so this thing, it's strong, alright? Mr. Ling, Mr. Ling is strong. Mr. Ling will destroy you and your family, okay? You don't want to pick a fight with Mr. Ling. He's ready, okay? Those hands, he's ready to throw those hands, okay? Those feet, I can't think of anything about those feet. Those feet exist, which is scary enough in its own. That is a Pokemon that should not exist. Other way around, however, yeah, that's honestly scary in its own way. It's not as scary as Mr. Ling, I'll admit. However, that face, that's a face of nightmares. Chingling, such a happy little Pokemon, but when you give it Mr. Mime's body, for some reason, I think it's the hands. I think it's the grabby hands. It just looks like it's coming for you, just big grabby hands. No one wants big grabby hands. Chingmime, no, you go away. We've seen enough of Chingmime. We don't need no Chingmime. Instead, let's go and hopefully mix things back to powerful. We're going to go back and forth. Powerful, scarring. Powerful, scarring. That sounds great. We have Thundurus and Machamp. Honestly, not too sure how this is going to go. I want it to have, like, this is not what's going to happen, by the way, but I want it to have Thundurus's crossed arms just all over its body. Like, I want it to have crossed arms just all over it. Not what happened. That is strange. That is so strange, and I did not feel comfortable. What is happening with the cloud? What is happening with the cloud? Its cloud is on one leg and not the other. It's lost half a leg. From, like, the shin down, doesn't exist anymore. Not needed, okay? It just spawns another cloud and just walks on the cloud. Honestly, why not? Why not? It does definitely give off a powerful vibe, though. It still keeps Machamp's, like, head ridges. Would you classify it as hair? I don't classify this as hair. On Machamp, that is not hair, okay? It's a head ridge or something. It makes its headbutts more powerful. That's about all I know. I don't know where it's, like, Thundurus' sash went. Head ridges, sashes, I don't really know what I'm going to be calling these passive Pokemon, to be honest. But I don't know where that went. I feel like that would be a really nice thing to incorporate into the design, so I kind of want to see what it looks like the other way. Funchamp definitely looks good. Madurus, on the other hand, that I like. I like that. This is probably the better way around. Definitely got the genie vibe. It's got its big spikes. It's got its big spikes. Okay, make it look nice and powerful. Okay, I'm 5 years old on the inside, so big spikes, very impressive. Makes it look very cool. It has punching hands ready to go. One of its hands is actually upside down. Turns out this Pokemon was like that from birth. It was born with a hand upside down, but it just allows it to grapple you from underneath and just, you know, throw you up into the air with a seismic toss. So it's there for a strategic reason, actually. It's got the more interesting hairline, I guess, from Thundurus. Honestly, I like it. It definitely looks pretty good. Madurus. I even kind of like to cry. At the end of the cry, it's got like a powerful, like, deepening effect to it. Yeah, it's like a rumble happening in the distance. I like it. I like the cry as well. Alright. Moving on to something that could be scarring. Actually, I have high hopes for this. Cherubi and Vivillon, I think this could look good. I think this could look good. Okay? I wish I could choose which Vivillon type it was. That'd be such a cool thing. Cherubi, Vivillon. Cherubi's face, pretty happy. This could actually look pretty normal. Okay. I wasn't expecting the other head to still be there. You know, if it was just Cherubi's normal head, it would look genuinely just like a normal Vivillon. It would look actually the same, except it looks like it's got like these teeth, like little pincer teeth. In reality, they're Cherubi's legs, which changes my opinion of it a little bit. I feel like these would look better as teeth, though. I do like the fact that the other head gets to come along for the ride, okay? I do like that. It's just still there, you know? It doesn't fit with the design anymore. It's just still there. It's just it just looks so sad. It looks so sad compared to this other head. Oh, that actually hurts me on the inside. What about the other way around? Does it still keep the wings? Okay, it does. And it changes the color quite a bit as well. Definitely looks like a grass type. Its head doesn't quite line up with its body perfectly. It looks like it's just slightly malformed. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you're slightly malformed. This poor Pokemon, it just wants to exist. And its head, it just looks like it's got a giant forehead added on top of it. It really does. Interesting. Definitely interesting. To round up, though, with the requests, we have Pinsir, once again, and Golbat. I may have done this? It sounds familiar. That is not familiar to me. That is actually beautiful. That is a really, really nice fusion. This looks a lot like a gargoyle to me. It looks like a gargoyle. It's got the horns, it's got some wings, it's got a menacing mouth, it's got claws, it's got all the parts of a gargoyle, but it doesn't quite look right, if you know what I mean. It's not quite a gargoyle. It's pretty close, though. It actually looks very menacing. It's got a lot of the good points of it. Golbat's giant mouth will never cease to amaze me. I do wonder why the Pokemon has a mouth that large. How does it benefit it? Is it so that it can just grab fruit, like a whole watermelon in its mouth at once, and just gulp it down? Because honestly, goals. Goals. The other way around, though. Yep, that's a potato. For some reason, you know, Pinsir just always looks like a potato. Well, with all of that said and done, and the requests out of the way, let's go ahead and get a couple of randoms in here. Remoraid and Munchlax. He's a Munchraid. Honestly, the Pokemon, I don't care too much about. The name I'm ready, okay? I'm ready for a Munchraid, okay? Can we get a Munchraid? I want a Munchraid. That does actually sound great. If nothing else, it sounds great. Well, now that I think about it, the evolved forms of these are very, very vastly different, okay? Munchlax gets a whole lot bigger. Remoraid turns into an entirely different Pokemon that I still struggle to, like, understand why they're an evolution. I get the theories of Remoraid, you know, turning into Octillery. It's meant to be... Remoraid's based on, like, a pistol, and Octillery has, like, Octazooka and is, like, a gun, and it's just weird. That, I kind of like. I think I just like it because I like Snorlax feet. I think that's what's doing it. I like the Snorlax feet over here because it makes it look like a plushie. I think that's why I like it. I don't think the Octillery really has any leeway on this. What about the other way around? Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now that's something I want to come up in the middle of the night and give me a hug. You know, that just looks like a friendly teddy bear, right? I'm sure everyone is thinking the same thing. What a friendly teddy bear. I want to use this as a hug pillow at night. That would be great. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I do want to swap it the other way around, though, and I want to... what about Golbat and Snorlax? I don't think I've ever seen this. They're both Gen 1, which means they've been in the fusion generator for so long, and I don't think I've ever seen these fused. Okay, that's, again, not the way around I wanted to do that. Oh, that's kind of scary, actually. That's kind of scary. Golax is terrifying me on the inside. You know what? Sure thing. You do you, Snorlax. You do you. I'm gonna evolve you and see what you look like as a Crobat, though, just out of pure curiosity. I want to see the wings and what happens without the giant mouth. That is not what I was expecting. That actually looks like a horrific fusion. It's like the top half fused and the bottom half of Snorlax fused. It's like a complete divide halfway along. These don't look like two different Pokemon that fused together. It looks like the top half of a Crobat was chopped off, the bottom half of Snorlax was chopped off, and they were sewn together, rather than fused. That is terrifying. Let's go with one more randomization with Poliwhirl and Pancham. Actually, let's go with Politoed and Pancham. Actually, it's going to evolve into Pangoro. My bad. I did not mean to do that, but you know what? I'm just as curious. It looks so weird. It looks so weird. I don't like it. That's what I needed to see. That's how we're rounding up right here. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful frog. This is a beautiful, happy Froggo, and you know what it needs? It needs something, alright? I'm sure everyone can guess what I might be doing. It needs to be a little bit smaller. He doesn't need a big hat. He needs a small hat. He's not a big boy. Absolutely beautiful. Honestly, absolutely beautiful. Let me just go ahead and absolutely beautiful. You know, that's how we're rounding up this episode. Looking at this fantastic, fantastic creature. So if you guys have enjoyed this episode of Pokemon Fusions, as always, leave your comments down below. I will get to them next week. And if you guys have enjoyed this episode, leave a like down below, hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, bye!